October 2025 might just be the busiest month VR has ever seen. Talk about story-driven adventures or surreal horror experiences. The lineup is stacked with variety. There's something landing this month that'll pull you into a brand new world. And it's not just sequels or updates. October is packed with plenty of studios swinging for the fences. We've got games that use your microphone to terrify you, others that turn your living room into a pod racing arena, and some that invite you to build, craft, and even befriend your inner monster. Let's dive into 23 brand new VR games releasing this October. A month so loaded, it feels like a holiday season for VR fans. Laser Matrix. Dodging beams in your own living room sounds like sci-fi training, but that's exactly the challenge here. This mixed reality action game transforms any play space into a hazard-filled arena where quick feet and sharp timing mean the difference between clearing a stage or restarting from scratch. The design revolves around activating buttons while surviving shifting obstacles. Early stages ease you in with static lasers, but things escalate quickly. Moving beams, timed danger zones, and unpredictable trap patterns force you to plan movement in advance while reacting on instinct. A dedicated survival mode features multiple handcrafted levels, while there's also a time trial mode that pushes speedrunners to climb leaderboards with flawless efficiency. Difficulty scales to suit anyone. Beginners can set a comfortable pace, while veterans can crank the intensity for sweat-drenched runs that double as cardio workouts. Because the system supports adaptive play areas, even if you're in a compact room or a wide-open space, the game adjusts accordingly. Developed with a fitness-driven edge, this one's all about endurance. And with future updates promising additional levels beyond launch, October 1st on Quest is only the beginning. Super RC drives onto Quest next week, and it promises high-speed thrills for fans of remote-controlled racing. Super RC features 1/5 scale remote-controlled cars, which the player can collect, build, customize, and race through 3 hours of single-player races. There's also a track creator mode, a hobby shop for buying and customizing new cars, a sandbox mode to be enjoyed alone or with friends, and online multiplayer for up to 8 players. Now, it's confirmed to be launching on October 1st. In addition to these full VR modes, a mixed reality mode allows you to build tracks and race in real-world environments. Super RC comes from BitPlanet Games, proven developers of the well-received Ultra Wings 2, which won an essential rating from us when it launched way back in 2022. Trust me guys, this should be on your radar. BlackGate. Created by Megaverse LLC, this asymmetrical horror project is stepping into early access this October, giving players a taste of its tense multiplayer design, while the team continues shaping it through community feedback. Pre-orders even come with a Founders Pack, signaling the developer's long-term commitment to updates and balance tweaks. The setup is as thrilling as it gets. 4 engineers versus 1 alien specimen, each controlled by a different player. Engineers are tasked with repairing the massive BlackGate station, restoring vital systems, and unlocking the armory. All the while, they must navigate the zero-gravity environment, using thrusters, dodging debris, and keeping constant watch for danger. The alien's journey is equally compelling. Starting in a fragile larval state, the creature grows stronger by feeding on its human prey. With every evolution, it gains new abilities, shifting from a lurking menace into a powerhouse capable of ambushes, traps, and direct confrontations. Survival is never guaranteed. If engineers manage to arm themselves, the hunter can quickly become the hunted. Launching in early access means a steady stream of updates and refinements ahead, but the foundation already promises high-stakes tension where cooperation and paranoia collide.
Is a part of you, traveler. His feelings are connected to yours. Moti is afraid of not being able to return home.
My monsters. Dreams and nightmares intertwine in the surreal realm of Memoreum, where players step into a deeply personal journey about fear, loneliness, and resilience. At the heart of the adventure is Moti, your inner monster, both companion and extension of yourself, guiding you through a world painted with anxiety and wonder in equal measure. The emotional story is told through dialogue, and also through the way you interact with this environment. Every landscape is 100% hand-painted, creating a fairy tale atmosphere that feels alive with shifting colours and forms. You'll solve puzzles, uncover hidden paths, and confront creatures designed to represent different mental struggles. Combat plays a central role as well. Moti can unleash dodges, combos, and ranged powers, while your coordination together determines survival. There are different enemy types and bosses, inspired by manifestations of mental disorders. Keeping Moti safe is essential. If fear consumes him, you risk losing control. Developed by a small, passionate indie team, My Monsters launches October 2nd on PC, VR and Quest. Prompt Party. It's a replicator tool that makes imagination the only real limit. Okay, picture something like this. Streaming a YouTube video on a giant virtual wall while tossing darts across the room or spawning a fish businessman just to crack up your friends. VR is reaching new heights, people. There are different environments available at launch, like futuristic hubs to cozy lounges which you can decorate, rearrange, and share creations with the wider community. Multiplayer is at the center, though. The base game is free to play, letting you generate 2 custom items per session with a daily bonus. Future updates promise more environments, dynamic VR vehicles, and even a drawing board for direct creativity. It's experimental, playful, and designed to keep every session feeling fresh, making October 2nd a notable date for Quest 3's social lineup.
Raw speed, lightning reflexes, and around every turn, the chance to chase your destiny!
Star Wars Beyond Victory. The Empire is tightening its grip on the galaxy, but in the midst of fear and control, hope takes the form of speed. Players step into the boots of Volo Bolas, an ambitious young pilot mentored by pod racing legend Sebulba, for a brand new story set during the Reign of Empire era. It's Star Wars reimagined, not as a passive viewing experience, but as a mixed reality adventure woven directly into your surroundings. The adventure mode delivers the full narrative campaign, while arcade mode takes the thrill of pod racing and shrinks it into a holotable-style top-down racer, packed with branching tracks and relentless speed. Then there's Playset mode, a sandbox where you unlock figures, vehicles and tools to create your own dioramas or stage full battles across your living room floor. Developed as a Quest 3 and Quest 3S exclusive, this mixed reality playset launches on October 7th. By combining a fresh Star Wars tale with modular modes and creative play, it aims to capture both the adrenaline of pod racing and the endless imagination of the galaxy far, far away.
Welcome back, Dr. Hudson. It's been some time since we last spoke. Anomaly detected on board.
Memoreum, launching October 9th on Quest. This VR sci-fi horror campaign is all about survival, paranoia, and psychological unease packed into a single, terrifying package. Built by Patient 8 Games, the indie studio best known for the acclaimed Return to Rapture mod for Half-Life Alyx, this project has been in development for 4 years. That background alone sets expectations high, as the team has proven its ability to combine VR immersion with cinematic storytelling. With Memoreum, they're aiming to craft a stand-alone campaign that pushes VR horror in new directions. The year is 2311, and humanity's last ship, the Century Dawn, is no longer a sanctuary. Players embody Dr. Otto Hudson, awakened from stasis into a nightmare. The corridors are crawling with the infected, their humanity erased by the Ichor infection. As Hudson, you're battling monsters while grappling with your own fractured mind, guided by a scrambled voice that may be real, or may be another symptom of madness. Gameplay emphasizes survival and adaptation. You'll scavenge resources, piece together an arsenal of distinct weapons, and fight enemies that evolve in response to your tactics. Firepower alone won't save you. Strategy and resource management are vital as the infection adapts to your playstyle.
The future, huh?
Dreams of Another. This October 10th release is a PSVR 2 exclusive, and it positions itself not just as an action adventure, but as an artistic exploration of the idea that creation and destruction are inseparably linked. Instead of tearing worlds apart with bullets, here every shot builds them. That's the central twist behind Dreams of Another, a third-person exploration action title where destruction is the very act of creation. Using point cloud rendering technology, environments grow around you as you interact, shaping dreamlike landscapes that feel alive with every step. At its heart is a poetic narrative about two unlikely figures, the man in pajamas and the wandering soldier. Their journeys intertwine across surreal spaces, which is all about memory, imagination, and conversation with peculiar sentient objects. These characters are conduits for philosophical questions, which deals with anxiety, purpose, and how we build meaning in life. Humor also finds its place, with offbeat lines from strange characters giving levity to the otherwise reflective tone. Behind the project is Q Games Ltd, the Kyoto-based studio responsible for Pixel Junk Eden, Pixel Junk Monsters, and The Tomorrow Children. Directed by multimedia artist Bayon, the game comes with an experimental soundtrack that mirrors its ephemeral, painterly world.
Farah is fraught with danger. You'll need help to survive. Take these gauntlets. Upgrade your tools to survive and turn their way.
Reach. In Reach, reality itself is unstable, colliding into a world where myths, memories, and impossible landscapes overlap. You step into the role of a reluctant hero, navigating this fractured reality, where every choice pushes the story in new directions. The campaign is designed as a personal journey, with your decisions shaping both the fate of the world and your own destiny. It's all about grounded survival, with moments of the surreal, ancient ruins, war-torn fields, and shifting dreamlike spaces all lie along your path. As the narrative unfolds, allies and threats reveal themselves, each tied to the mysteries behind these crossed realities. It's a story about stepping into the unknown, testing courage, and discovering who you are when the world itself demands change. Gameplay supports that narrative immersion. Full-body physics makes every climb, leap, and vault feel earned, while combat offers freedom in how you respond to danger, whether through stealth, ranged attacks, or direct confrontation. Puzzle solving adds quieter moments of ingenuity between battles. Developed by Dreams, Elevation Studios. Reach is set to launch on the 16th of October 2025 for MetaQuest, PSVR 2 and PCVR, promising a story-driven adventure built for presence and choice. Vex Mage. Mark your calendar for October 16th, when Vex Mage launches on PC, VR and Quest. Built as a lightning-fast arena shooter with optional VR support, it thrives on speed, aggression, and a system that constantly pushes you to adapt. Combat is centered on elemental runes. Assign a different element to each hand, then fuse them together for unique spell effects. Fire with wind to create devastating cyclones. Ice with lightning for freezing shockwaves, or earth with fire for area control hazards. Enemies swarm from every direction, demanding constant movement, dodges and combos to stay alive. The campaign is structured as rapid-fire sessions where each level bursts with chaos and pure adrenaline. Solo players will face escalating difficulty, while co-op supports up to 2 allies, dynamically scaling encounters to keep survival tense, whether you're teamed up or alone. Global leaderboards and cross-platform play tie everything together, allowing Quest and PCVR players to chase immortality in the rankings. With its October release, Vex Mage isn't just about casting spells, it's about proving reflexes and creativity under relentless pressure. Cite, Alexandrie. In an alternate 1980s France, where culture itself is outlawed, you take charge of a secret network dedicated to preserving what the state wants erased. Books, comics, music, and art. Every decision you'll make feels like a small rebellion. Do you risk exposure to expand your circle? Or do you play it safe and stay in the shadows, while others suffer cultural starvation? Gameplay unfolds on a rotating diorama table. A miniature neighborhood where each turn reveals new stories, allies, and risks. Managing your underground crew means assigning tasks, smuggling contraband, and weighing whom to trust. Choices ripple through the city. Betray one faction for survival, and you might lose credibility elsewhere. Expand too quickly, and government crackdowns tighten around you. Logistics and resource balancing are as important as moral choices. The cool thing here is the mix of management systems with immersive VR storytelling, where rotating the table feels tactile and personal, as though you're literally peering into the lives you're responsible for. Developed and published by Sirène Rouge Games, Cite Alexandrie aims to give VR players a tense, resistance-themed experience that merges story, strategy, and conscience. Trenches VR. The scariest thing in our next game isn't a monster, but it's actually your own voice. Trenches VR listens through your microphone, meaning that real-world breathing, whispers, or panicked cries can give away your location. Staying silent becomes as important as moving carefully, because enemies are tuned to hunt any slip. Even a creak of wood beneath your feet or the shatter of a bottle can bring them closer. Set in the brutal backdrop of World War I, you play as a soldier trapped behind enemy lines. The labyrinth of trenches and bunkers quickly dissolves into a nightmare as your mind begins to fracture. Reality shifts with your sanity, so a path you cleared moments ago may not be safe the next time you pass through. Your only tool is a trench whistle, which guides you toward objectives but also risks drawing enemies. Every choice carries weight. Blow the whistle for help or stay lost in the dark. The experience is built for pure survival horror, with disturbing imagery, jump scares, and environmental audio pushing constant tension. Developed by Steel Quill Studio and published by Perp Games, it launches October 22nd across PCVR, PSVR 2 and Quest.
My fellow Americans, fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon will rest in peace.
Wanderer, the Fragments of Fate. Time itself becomes your playground in this full remake of the award-winning Wanderer. Players step into the role of Asher Newman, tasked with rewriting history by leaping across centuries. One moment you're decrypting wartime messages. The next, you're performing for roaring 60s crowds or treading the dust of the moon. Every time period brings a new identity, perspective and set of challenges, ensuring the adventure never plays out the same way twice. Objects carry across eras, so a tool discovered in one timeline might unlock solutions in another. You'll climb, swim, swing and zipline through diverse environments, mixing physics-driven platforming with clever historical puzzles. Combat has also been reimagined, introducing new weapons, ammo types, and enemy behaviors that keep tension high across multiple settings. This next-gen rebuild pushes VR immersion further. Overhauled visuals, advanced haptics, and full-body avatars ground you in every scene. Developed by M-Theory and Oddboy, The Fragments of Fate launches October 23rd on PCVR, bringing back one of VR's most ambitious time travel sagas.
Let me explain the situation. Dr. Blackwood is missing. Your job is to get inside his sanatorium, find what happened there.
The Amygdala Protocol investigation drives everything in this psychological horror mystery. You're not armed with weapons, but with your ability to observe, gather evidence, and survive long enough to connect the dots. Environmental puzzles scatter the halls, forcing you to study surroundings closely, while avoiding a hostile entity that reacts dynamically to your presence. Stealth, patience, and sharp thinking are your lifelines. The story unfolds in the abandoned Crestwood Institute, a children's hospital tied to vanished neurologist Dr. Elias Thorne. The entire thing that begins as a missing persons case spirals into a deeper conspiracy, experiments on children, a protocol that twisted trauma into something monstrous, and an entity that stalks the corridors as living proof of science gone wrong. This presence isn't a ghost. It's a creation of cruelty, and it's never far away. The atmosphere plays as big a role as mechanics. Decaying rooms echo with a history of broken promises, while the supernatural layers intensify the sense of dread. Hiding in closets, tracking audio cues, and solving layered mysteries make every moment tense. Launching October 24th on Quest, the Amygdala Protocol is all about detective work with survival horror in a story that warns, uncovering the truth may come at the cost of your sanity. Arken Age. Coming this October, Arken Age is going to be one of the most ambitious single-player VR adventures yet. Set in the Biochasm, a terraformed fantasy world crafted by the Grand Arborist, the game has some insane fast-paced physics combat, with deep exploration across alien landscapes, corrupted by Hyperion's neural influence. You'll wield Arcanite-infused swords and guns, capable of dismembering and crushing enemies with full weight and impact. Also, you'll have your customizable Hyperion weapons form the backbone of your arsenal, modifiable with upgrades scattered across the Biochasm. Add in crafting, smelting scrap into Hyperion alloy, or brewing Scarlet Nectar syringes, and every encounter feels like preparation for the next. Traversal is just as physical. Climbing picks allow you to scale tangled routes, swimming mechanics let you dive into hidden areas, and free locomotion gives you the freedom to explore vertically and horizontally. The campaign promises 10 to 15 hours of story-driven content, steeped in the culture of the Nara alien race, with a replayable combat mode and New Game Plus extending its lifespan. Designed specifically for Quest 3, Arken looks ready to deliver both spectacle and staying power. Little Planet. When it comes to our next game on the list, the heart of this sandbox is creation. You're handed a blank world and a set of intuitive tools, free to craft furniture, gadgets, and landscapes however you like. Sculpt hills, design cozy homes, or drop in playful contraptions. The mechanics are designed to be approachable while still offering depth for ambitious builders. Even the little details matter. Your character needs to eat and rest, reminding you that creativity can be as exhausting as it is rewarding. But Little Planet is about play. Every object you build doubles as an interactive toy. That piano in the corner, it works. Fireworks you've crafted, they light up the sky. There's even a Ferris wheel to ride with friends. These touches turn the world into something more than decoration. It's alive, inviting you to experiment and discover. Little Planet is designed as a living, evolving platform with new items and events shaped by its community. Oh, and you won't always be alone either. Solo players can befriend planet pals, NPC companions with their own little stories, while multiplayer lets you invite friends for co-creation or just relaxed campfire hangouts. Chaos Method. Chaos Method is arriving as a PSVR 2 exclusive, built to make full use of the headset's vibration, adaptive triggers, and room-scale play. Whether you're seated, standing, or carving out a 2x2 meter space to jump around in, the game adapts to your setup. At its core are 13 minigames, with its own control scheme and frantic objective. One challenge might have you firing cannons at enemy ships, while the next drops you into a bamboo grove to slice stalks apart, followed by tearing through a cityscape in pure destructive glee. The fun comes from variety and speed. Mini-games shift rapidly, forcing you to adjust on instinct while chasing high scores. Publisher Tonic Games Australia describes it as family-friendly chaos, easy to pick up, but designed to keep you laughing and sweating as you cycle through escalating tasks. It leans into experimentation, where every mode plays differently, but all contribute to the same whirlwind of unpredictability. With its October release, Chaos Method looks ready to deliver bite-sized VR madness for anyone who wants energy-packed sessions on PSVR 2.
If you can hear me, please respond on this frequency. I repeat, please respond to this message.
Drop Dead, The Cabin. This October release for the PCVR promises a mix of retro scares, co-op tension, and endless survival challenges. Lost in the woods, you stumble upon an abandoned cabin with a sinister history. Once the home of Dr. Monday, a scientist obsessed with twisted experiments, the site now serves as the breeding ground for undead horror. The forest is crawling, the power is unstable, and every shadow hides something eager to drag you down. Survival depends on teamwork and resourcefulness. You'll fight to keep the power running, lights on, and comms alive. Let systems fail, and the undead gain the upper hand, faster, harder to see, and far deadlier. Combat is fully immersive. Reload weapons manually, aim for headshots, and use physics-based interactions to wield melee objects or environmental traps. Guns may hold the line, but precision and coordination win the night. The experience scales for solo players or online co-op, with objectives forcing decisions on whether to split up or stick together. Developed by Soul Assembly, Drop Dead: The Cabin deals with 80s horror aesthetics with roguelike replayability. Smasher. Here's a situation for you. Imagine standing in an arena where every gun you've ever dreamed of using cycles through your hands. One moment it's a pistol, the next a void cannon, then a grenade launcher that explodes in ways physics probably shouldn't allow. That's the carousel of guns at the heart of Smasher, making every fight feel like a non-stop weapons expo. Oh, and there's magic too. Offensive and defensive spells let you toss fireballs, summon floating weapons, or raise void shields mid-battle. Mixing firearms with spellcraft creates fights that are as chaotic as they are satisfying. Deflecting a death ray with a trash can lid while blasting drones feels exactly as absurd and fun as it sounds. Boss battles dial things up further. The mother drone, bristling with rocket launchers and backed by swarming minions, sets the tone early. Set in a cyber magic dystopia, the campaign balances arcade shooting with offbeat humour, including a talkative drone sidekick and plenty of corporate sorcery gone wrong. Launching in October 2025 for PC, VR and Quest, Smasher thrives on pure, chaotic VR action. Zero Caliber Remastered. Coming out in 2025 but doesn't say which month. In a near future where drinkable water has become humanity's rarest resource, society fractures into chaos. Mercenaries, cults and rogue armies all vie for control, with the most fearsome faction calling themselves the Tlaloc, a cult devoted to the Aztec god of rain. Their motto is simple and chilling: join us or perish. You fight as part of the OSA, one of the few forces left trying to maintain order as humanity teeters on collapse. The campaign pulls you through tense missions against these factions that explore desperation, loyalty, and survival in a poisoned world. Go solo or alongside 3 squad mates in co-op. The missions require coordination, ducking into cover, clearing rooms, and reacting to evolving threats. Combat is grounded in realism. From precision rifles to shotguns and explosives, the arsenal grows as you rise through the ranks, with on-the-fly customization letting you adapt to each encounter. Developed by X-Real Games, Zero Caliber 2 Remastered hits PSVR 2 this October, bringing story-driven combat, co-op survival, and PvP together in one dystopian package.
Farewell.
Confined leaving OK B134. Deep beneath the earth, in the ruins of a Soviet-era bunker, the silence is broken only by the hum of machines you've reactivated. Dust coats the walls, pipes leak, and old equipment lies waiting to be brought back to life. Every room in OKB 134 carries traces of the people who once worked there, residues of daily life, scattered notes, and broken systems hiding the truth of what happened. But something else remains, and the deeper you go, the less alone you feel. Gameplay centers on horror-driven exploration mixed with puzzle solving. You'll reactivate power grids, lights, and machinery to navigate further, but every switch flipped risks, drawing attention. Clues hidden in the environment piece together the story of the personnel who never left, while physics-based interactions add realism to every action, pulling levers, turning valves, even flushing an old toilet if curiosity gets the better of you. In VR, the sense of weight and tactility makes even simple tasks tense. While playable both on PC and VR, the bunker is designed for maximum immersion inside a headset. Developed and published by Fiend Games, there's a strong chance this one enters players' hands in early access this October, setting the stage for full launch in March 2026. Darts VR 2 Bullseye. No official date yet, this game steps up to the oche, line up your shot and aim for precision. This sequel turns a classic pub game into a fully fleshed out VR experience. At its core is competitive darts, complete with global tournaments, championship trophies and the ability to host your own events. Mastering your throw becomes addictive, especially when leaderboard spots and esports bragging rights are on the line. Beyond the traditional rules, the game branches into creative modes. 501 mode tests your ability to hit precise totals, rewarding both accuracy and strategy. If competition isn't tense enough, there's a full zombies mode, where every dart you land could mean the difference between survival and being overrun. Trick shot practice, casual rounds with friends, or high-stakes matches. That's all the rage here. Unlock new darts, collect unique cosmetics, and show off avatars that reflect your style. Cross-platform multiplayer ensures you can challenge anyone. Darts VR 2, Bullseye evolves its predecessor into a versatile package. Scared by squares. Your sentence is life, but the authorities have one last use for you. You're sent into the cube, a digital prison built of endless perfect squares after rumors of dangerous irregularities spread. Once the door shuts, there's no exit, only hallways that stretch into darkness, twisting sanity the longer you remain inside. No one will tell you what waits in the cube. That's for you to discover. Gameplay focuses on exploration and survival in liminal environments that feel unnervingly pristine yet hostile. Corridors are lined with repeating patterns, but anomalies hide in the details. Some cubes are corrupted, roaming the halls and forcing you to keep your distance. Others contain secrets, clues, or hazards that push the sense of paranoia further. The challenge here is recognizing when the world itself has changed. You can venture in alone for maximum tension or invite friends to co-op exploration, though whether company eases or amplifies the fear depends on how you play. There's a strong hunch this is launching this October 2025 for PC, VR and Quest. It might be all fan speculation, but we just had to include this one in our list today because this is a VR horror experiment unlike anything else this month. And that's the lineup, 23 VR games, all dropping in one single month. Some of these are pushing VR hardware to new limits. Others are reimagining genres we've known for decades, and a few are just here to deliver pure, chaotic fun. Let me know in the comments which game you're most excited to try first, because honestly, choosing just one feels impossible. Until next time, keep your headsets charged, your play space cleared, and your calendars marked. VR's biggest month of 2025 has officially arrived.
Hitch up your britches, Asher. Something tells me we're in for one hell of an adventure!
Eagle? We still have no response from you.